All right, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time you're tuning into this video, just make sure that it is good. My name is Game Boy Rob, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about strategy, about the seasonal tournament that just concluded last weekend, and a few of the things I learned from participating in it. In case you weren't aware, I participated in the seasonal tournament. I had a pretty decent run. I learned a lot. I had a bunch of really cool games, and I noticed a trend, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. As you guys might have guessed, there was one, maybe two decks that really stood out as being like the top seasonal tournament like contenders, the top two seasonal the top two decks that really had the most representation. There we go. That's the word I was looking. That was on the tip of my tongue there for a minute. Representation. The top two decks that had the most representation in the seasonal tournament were Trundle Lysandra Control, secondly, and firstly, good old Nasus Thresh, as I'm sure surprises nobody. Those were the top two decks of the seasonal, right? And I want to talk about Nasus Thresh specifically today, and I know I've talked about it in the forum, I've made videos about it in the past, but I wanted to talk today about Nasus Thresh and specifically how to play against it, and some of the misconceptions that I think people have about this deck. So let's take a look at the specific lineup that I have, which is not quite the standard lineup. I know most people are running at least a couple copies of Ravenous Butcher, usually two, maybe even three. And I'm not running any of those. I'm running two copies of the box instead to sort of try to counter other Nasus Thresh decks. But for the purposes of today's, what we're doing today, that shouldn't really matter very much, because what we're talking about today is whether this deck is an aggro deck or a mid-range deck, right? I've heard a lot of people have this discussion, and sometimes it feels really mid-rangey and sometimes it feels really aggressive. And I'm here to weigh in. I'm here to give my 2 cents. And the reason I'm making a whole video about this is because I think it really impacts the way you want to play against this deck. And my answer, the answer that I'm going with, is that this is not an aggro deck. I think that Nasus Thresh should not be considered an aggro deck and should not be played against as though you're playing against an aggro deck. Let me explain. When you're playing against aggro, obviously they're going to have a better early game than you, right? They're going to drop 1 drops, they're going to drop 2 drops, they're going to drop maybe 3 drops, but probably they're just going to drop on round 3 like another 2 drop and a 1 drop. And they're going to go face. They're going to flood the board. They're going to deal damage to you. You're only going to have a couple blockers, and they're going to have lots of attackers, and you're going to take a lot of damage in the early game, right? And Nasus Thresh definitely does that. I'm sure we've all lost a game or two. I'm sure at some point during this season, we've all lost a game where our opponent went Dunekeeper and Ravenous Butcher on round 1, into Curse Keeper on round 2, into Blighted Caretaker on round 3, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Dunekeeper's a turn 1 decimate. It's crazy," and it is. That part is true. Dunekeeper is crazy. But like they'll play Dunekeeper on 1, deal 4 damage. Round 2 they play Curse Keeper. Round 3 they play Blighted Caretaker, and suddenly you're taking all this damage. Your units are being traded into with these saplings, and it's just a nightmare, right? It's a mess. And all that is very true. However, once you get past round 3, round 4 in this deck is where it starts being much different than an aggro deck. Generally, an aggro deck, a true aggro deck, like a Pirate aggro, Discard Jinx, those types of things, right? Spiders, nothing changes. Past round 3, they're still going to be flooding the board. Maybe they'll transition into spells that damage face, but other than that, they're still going to be flooding the board. They're still just going to be trying to deal as much damage to you as possible. Whereas this deck stops doing that around round 4, round 5, right? Round 4, round 5, they stop that. They play Thresh, maybe a Nasus, and then their goal changes and starts becoming leveling up Thresh, getting out a big Nasus, and setting up a big Atrocity. And I think a big mistake that a lot of players make at this point is they still they're still freaked out. They're still scared of all that damage they just took, and they try to mitigate damage in the future. Whereas what they need to be doing is setting up as well to prevent the Atrocity. Essentially, the difference between this deck and an aggro deck is that at all points, when you're playing against an aggro deck, the entire game you were spending trying to stop yourself from taking as much damage as possible. Whereas in this deck, against this deck, 1 health is no different from 12 health, right? If you have a Nexus with 12 health and your opponent has a 12/12 Nasus, Atrocity kills you. If you have a Nexus with 1 health and your opponent has a 12/12 Nasus, Atrocity kills you, you know? So your health, there comes a point in this deck where your health stat no longer matters whatsoever. It becomes irrelevant because Atrocity will kill you no matter what health you have. And I think that's what people don't understand. I think that's what people are messing up on. I see a lot of people like flash freezing a Nasus that's like 8/8. Like when Nasus is coming in to hit you for 8 and you have a 10 health Nexus, they'll flash freeze. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. If your Nexus survives, don't use your flash freeze. Your flash freeze needs to be saved to stop Atrocity or whatever it is that you have, right? Hush is the same, right? If you're playing Targon and you have Hush, you know, save that for when they Atrocity. If you're going up, you know, if you're playing, I don't know, if we're going to be playing Shurima and we have, you know, Quicksand might do something similar, you know. Flash freeze obviously works, Hush obviously works. There's lots of answers like that. Vengeance. You need to save these things for the Atrocity. Now, I played a bunch of really sick games against Nasus Thresh in the seasonal that I think really highlight this concept. And you'll notice a trend in all these games. I went down to extraordinarily low health totals and still either won or almost won those games. So hopefully you guys find this enjoyable. Hopefully you guys find this interesting. Hopefully I have explained my thesis well enough and you guys understand. And I hope this is helpful because Riot has you know, there's a new season coming out and there's new cards coming out in you know, on May 5th, and that's very exciting. And I'm gonna make a video when the next champion comes out. When the next champion comes out, which should be tomorrow, I'm gonna make a video about my reaction to that and the new cards that have been released so far. But I don't think we should expect anything to be nerfed when those cards come out, right? When the new champion comes out and the new cards come out, we shouldn't expect this deck to be nerfed then. It might be nerfed 2 weeks after. So we should be, you should be expecting to see this for a while. And so I hope that watching this video will help you guys play against this deck in the future. And with that, I'm gonna stop blabbering on. I'm gonna show these games, and I hope they are helpful to you guys, and I hope you guys learned something. So yeah, without further ado, enjoy the upcoming games. Oh, okay. We just had to be patient. All right. We just had to be patient. All right, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. All right. Patience. Yo, guys, patience and fortitude outlast all things. Patience and fortitude outlast all things. You heard it here first, chat. You heard it here first. All right, we are not going first this game. I need to go. I need to look at his list. I need to look at my opponent's list here. My opponent's running 3 copies of Black Spear, 0 boxes, 2 Vile Feasts, 2 Bakai Reapers. I think we can... keeping Blighted Caretaker in the opening hand can be kind of risky, actually. I'm not gonna do it. Ugh, man. We be brickin'. We out here brickin'.
The desert by my side. Sand and
Okay.
blood.
Alright, we're fine. We're fine, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. We're fine. We're so fine. We're so fine. Oh my god, we're incredibly fine. I've never been this fine. All right, let's see if they play around it or into it.
Always forward.
Oh, Vile Feast there. If our opponent has their own glimpse, we will play the second Vile Feast. I ain't letting you have a sleigh. I ain't letting you have a sleigh, and I'm certainly not letting you have cards. Don't even think about it, buddy. Don't even think about it, buddy. Nope, get it out of here. That's fine. That is fine. I am perfectly okay with that pass. My list, my particular Thresh Nasus list is slated a bit towards control rather than aggro, the way most lists are. Like, most lists are much more aggro focused, and I'm a bit more control focused. I'm just gonna pass. If I'm forgotten, then oh. I want to play Thresh. I would like to play Thresh here, but I don't want my opponent to ever get access to Blighted Caretaker when I don't have mana for the box, right? I am playing to deny Blighted Caretaker essentially forever. So I could even box now. Honestly, a box right now would not be the end of the world, but I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. All right, well, next round, the ghosty boy is getting in there. I will find someone. No place for men. No block. Play a Ravenous Butcher. That is not a Ravenous Butcher. Okay. What delightful agony we shall inflict. Okay. Like a worm on a hook. I should be keeping track of both people's slays. I'm not. I haven't been. My opponent has... Hold on, let me actually count this out. How many slays does my opponent have? It's like almost none. It's like, well, it's a couple. It's a couple now, right? Oh, this is a good box. Oh, this is a pretty good box. That is a box I will take right there. That box actually just straight up levels. This is a box that straight up levels Thresh. That is a gorgeous box. Look at that. Look at that box. Look at that box. Red negation? Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better. I'm surprised he didn't kill the spiderling. All right, so our opponent is down 1 right, which they're only running 2. My opponent's down 1 right and 1 mana gem, which matters less. The mana gem admittedly matters less here. We will be trading. We will be blocking with Thresh here. Ooh, Oh, if he's going for the play I think he's going for, he's making a very good play. If he's doing what I think he might be doing, then it's a very good play. Wow. Wow, that's a good play if he's doing what I think he's doing. Oh god. Oh, I don't block there. I block here. What am I doing? Oh, it doesn't matter. It's the same either way. I still block here. If he atrocities here, I lose, which is hilarious. Oh, don't worry, I ain't playing into it. I ain't playing into it, bud. Don't you worry. I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool. I'm not gonna tell you that I don't have right of negation. Okay. I am no longer afraid of the atrocity, or at least not very afraid of the atrocity.
Observe the price of ambition. I can't. I almost can't. I can't answer an atrocity, and a right of negation here, which is really unfortunate. I would love to be in a situation where I could answer a hand that had both of them in it. Really not what I want here. Disintegrate. What if I just glimpse this? I really want to get out Nasus. I really want to level up Thresh and attack with him. I think this has to be the play. I don't think the other way is the play. I think this is the play. Just give me a right. Just give me a right in negation. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. You can give me a right in negation. That wouldn't be so hard, would it? Would that be so difficult? Apparently that would be pretty difficult. I can't play either of those cards. I cannot play either of those cards. Not a chance. Not a chance in hell. You must know me, little one.
Alright, Nasus is 9-9 here, which means he comes in as 10-10. Which means he levels up here unless my opponent glimpses their own 4-3.
You see me? Yes.
If they do, if my opponent does glimpse their own 4-3, I won't Black Spear. I can't afford to Black Spear that, because I have to answer this. Nope. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not, dear friend. Oh god. No, you can't do that. I level up Nasus. Okay, alright. Absolutely not. And now my opponent has 0 good atrocity targets.
I'm gonna take this chance to develop my fading icon. Just as like a blocker. Not that I'm terribly afraid of his board anymore, but even so. And we're not spending mana. We are pretending like we have we are pretending like we have Rite of Negation at all times. At all times we are pretending as though we definitely have Rite of Negation. We are pretending. We're bluffing. This is what's called a bluff. Not that it matters. Not that right now it matters. Obviously, we pass here no matter what our health total is. We would pass here no matter what. Because our opponent, while our opponent does not die to Nasus here, they do not want to take 12 to the face from Nasus. You know, getting bopped, getting bonked in the Nexus by Nasus is never a good thing. when he's a 12 attack unit.
There you are.
And this is no exception. Interesting. So my box here. I don't even think I care. Like, yeah, I could box. Oh, I'm not gonna box. No. We don't box here. We play the other fading icon. We have like literally infinite blockers.
You must know me, little one.
My opponent cannot Atrocity right here. Oh, Withering Wail. Oh, you're going for the Withering Wail. Oh, I get it. All right. I will glimpse. I see you, opponent. I see you. Unfortunately, that's not gonna cut it. I do have multiple boxes in my hand right now. A cruel world. Oh, we actually have to box here. We actually do have to box here. I don't want to take 2 from that abomination over there. So if I box, no, I just box, right? But if I box, this becomes a 3/3. My opponent can't damage me. And then next turn I can just pull the 3/3 out of the way with Thresh. Easy peasy. I'm glad I thought that through. I almost passed there. So, so by utilizing a bonk next round, I can actually guarantee dealing 20 damage to my opponent with Nasus in one hit. I can just kill him in one hit. And I think that has to be the play, right? Is there another play? Not that I see. I'm just gonna do that. This still plays around Atrocity, because there's nothing on my opponent's side of the board that has 4 attack. And if my opponent plays something that has enough attack damage to Atrocity me, I don't even think there's much. It would have to be a Bakai Sandspinner. And Bakai Sandspinner still dies to box, right? The only unit in my opponent's deck that has the potential to do that is Bakai Sandspinner, which dies to the box. So Atrocity, I am just safe. I am just safe from Atrocity here. There you go. Game 1, match one, Game Boy. Oh boy. Ain't easy.
One more flash freeze would have easy won us that game, right? Easy peasy. Oh well. I'm running 4. I'm running 2 Three Sisters and 2 flash freezes. We drew one of them, so that's, you know, you can't really ask for better than that. Okay, that's a few too many champions. That's a few too many champions for me.
The Emperor commands, the land obeys. Always forward.
Okay. Okay, that's too many champions for me. I kept one. Yo. I kept one copy of Trundle. Why do I have 4 champions in my hand? Come on, diversify. Diversify. That's a little better. Play Blighted Caretaker, you won't. You won't. Play it, you won't. You won't. No balls. No balls, you won't. Ow.
Pride filled us forever.
Okay, so my opponent did not have a Butcher 2 rounds ago. Confirmed, right? And my opponent would have played a Butcher 2 rounds ago if he had it. So with that knowledge in mind, I think I'm gonna drop Lissandra.
All things grow cold.
If my opponent had a Ravenous Butcher in their hand, they would have played it 2 rounds ago. So maybe they top decked it. Unlikely.
Oh, yes. She does our visitors.
Azir's command.
Oh. Yep.
Shatter.
There's actually a world and a hand state where we block these Curse Keepers. I don't think it's the one we live in currently. I don't think there's a way to say that that's the world we currently live in.
Frost gathers.
Oh, a pass. How about now? Oh, a pass, huh? How about now?
If I'm forgotten, then oh.
Oh, you tempt me. You tempt me, friend. You tempt me. Is that enough? Is that enough for my avalanche? I think it literally might be. I think it is. We take that. We take that avalanche. Sure.
Duty fulfilled, a life undone.
We're probably gonna end up blocking with Lissandra here. Not ideal. But we've got more. We've got one more, so it's okay if she goes down. Oh, hey, Blighted. And she's going to go down eventually anyway from like Blighted Ravines and stuff. So it's fine. It's fine to block here.
Oh, sisters.
We're just gonna play Trundle.
Trolls coming through.
We're just gonna play the King of Trolls coming through. You guys know how it is. King of Trolls coming through. This is me freaking out about your top deck. Nice. I think the play here. We might go Blighted Ravine. We actually can't play Lissandra. I was gonna say I think the play here is just play Lissandra. But we actually need to make sure that we can play Blighted Ravine. We just pass. We just pass.
I walk through the ages.
Oh, little puppy dog. Wow, just a little old puppy dog, huh? Just a little itty bitty puppy dog. Sure. Sure. That is a little unfortunate. Oh wait, I literally had the ice shard. Guys, am I the dumb? Am I the dumb? I think I literally that was maybe a big throw. That was literally actually a pretty big throw. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No, it's actually fine. See, I knew we would need that ice shard later. I actually was aware. I was aware that we would be needing the ice shard later, so I was saving it. I was saving it for the more opportune time to play it. That's what actually was happening there. Yep, that's what happened. See what I mean? See, I knew we would need it. I knew we would need it later, so I knew we shouldn't have played it there, even though it was looking like a good time. Yeah. That's what happened. That's what happened.
My saplings.
Interesting. I think that's a second one. Do we think that's a second Vile Feast? I think it almost doesn't matter. I think it almost doesn't matter. We play Lissandra no matter what here, I think. Oh, do we though? Actually, hold on. Actually, no.
Come on!
No, we pass. We pass.
Everyone's a god.
Oh, I see what's happening here. Oh, my opponent has like exact lethal on me here. My opponent has exact lethal if I don't answer this somehow. I have to like commit a flash freeze here, and that's not what I want to do. I don't think I have a choice about it. I have to commit a flash freeze.
A dark cloud looms on the horizon.
All unmeasured. This too shall end.
Right, because that's exactly lethal. We could, if it technically, if I glimpse beyond my Trundle, I go to 9. I go to 1. I go to 1 health if I glimpse beyond my Trundle. All right, I need to take a look at this guy's deck. I don't think this. The thing about this deck, about this quote unquote aggro deck, is it actually can't deal face damage.
The ice is
No,
melting.
we actually do. We actually do just glimpse. We actually do just glimpse Trundle here, and stop our opponent from killing us that way. And that keeps us at 1, and we don't die. That's actually the play here. That's actually the play here. This might look greedy or risky. It's not. It's actually, I think it's actually correct. It does make Ice Shard a little awkward. To be fair, it does make Ice Shard a little bit more awkward. Now watch. Now the thing to do now, in case you guys are wondering, is to top deck Fading Memories. We top deck Fading Memories. That ain't Fading Memories. To win the game. Actually, Fading Memories would not even doing it here. It wouldn't even have done it. This ice shard is a dead draw because I went to 1, and that's pretty awkward. Not gonna lie, that is a little awkward. The fact that my ice shard is now a completely dead draw, that's not ideal. Although, oh, it's just Atrocity, right? Again, the only thing my opponent can do to kill me is Atrocity. So since they don't have it, we just Spectral Matron onto Spectral Matron to level up Lissandra and kill this Nasus. Or even Spectral Matron onto Trundle. Actually, Spectral Matron onto Trundle's better, right? No, because then Nasus is hard to kill. No, because then Nasus is hard to kill. Ooh, my hair. Ooh, my hair. I'm twisting it all up. This deck, again, this deck has no reach. No reach at all. It's just Atrocity. Should be the same either way. It's actually the same either way. Okay.
Ages pass, but I am eternal.
And now we have a tough Nexus, which means our ice shards are back now. Unless unless our ice shards are back unless our opponent has Black Spear to kill Lysandra, right?
What good comes of mortal greed? Punishment, if I serve as an example.
If I serve as an example. Again, it's just Atrocity. The only thing that threatens my Nexus
You will serve
is Atrocity.
me.
It's fine. Succumb. If my opponent has a Black Spear, it's pretty big brain.
The mortals know what awaits them. Few can know what death and eternity hold in store.
Okay, again, we are not in any danger of anything except Atrocity here. Nothing matters except Atrocity right now. I'm just gonna lead with Ice Shard here. Right now, the issue... Hey, Sushioki, thank you for the follow. Hi there. Thank you for that 10 minutes ago follow. My opponent's out of Atrocity range. If I just play Spectral Matron here... our opponent can't win. He doesn't have enough mana for Bonk. Let me look at his deck. He can't stop, he can't kill any of my units, except with Black Spear onto Lysandra. Oh, Black Spear onto Lysandra would be a little spooky, actually. We're gonna start here. That might be dumb. But I think the play... Or Trundle. Oh, we could also play Trundle. I was gonna say the play is to play Spectral Matron this round, so that next turn we can play this for 0. Actually, we could even just play this round, to play this for 0 this round, and then attack next round. That also would do it. That also would do just fine. That would do very nicely. That would be cool. A little unnecessary though, I think. Right now we're just gonna go Trundle. Gonna get us an Ice Pillar next round. And there should be no way for our opponent ever to win. Interesting. Okay. That's literally all your mana, buddy. That was the last little bit of your mana.
The ice is melting.
Judgment
That's game.
awaits.
That's game.
For their hubris.
That's easy. That's easy peasy game. That's easy. That's easily game.
Stinging cold.
A duty fulfilled, a life undone.
Easy game. Easily game in my favor. So now we just get to play this. My opponent's literally at 0 mana. I get to play this for free. It kills Nasus for free. I win the game. Right? Nasus is going to get vulnerable.
Embrace the cold.
And we get to frostbite it as well.
Cold creeps in.
Right? Because we have this among and also an entomb. So that is just game. There's a small world in which, you know, there's a slight chance my opponent has double Thresh in their hand and they can hold on for one more turn, but that's not gonna keep them alive here. If my opponent drops Thresh, we literally entomb it to prevent. Oh no, that doesn't even work. That doesn't even work. Oh, that's fine. That doesn't matter. It's fine. I literally have another one. Just in case I'm wrong, I'm just gonna play that again. Make sure our Nexus is tough. Get that double condom approach in there. It shouldn't matter. Literally 0 mana, our opponent can't do anything. That's game. There we go.
All is still.
Ooh, we did it. We did it. Woo! Okay. All right. We are currently. What's our score now? I'm gonna start off with the boys. I want the boys. If I can get the boys to hit ASOL. Ah, it can't. It doesn't. Boys does not hit ASOL, but that's okay. That should be fine. We keep Culling Strike every time in this matchup. I'm gonna keep House Spider. I'm gonna mull the other two. I think that's a good play. We want House Spider in the early game against this deck. Most important though is keeping Culling Strike for Thresh. Keeping Culling Strike for Thresh is super, super important for this matchup. Super important.
The Emperor commands, the land obeys.
That's fine. That is fine. That is totally fine. That is A-okay. So our opponent has most likely, well, they have a champion in their hand, right? Which means they probably have a Thresh. A Butcher here would be less than ideal, and they're running 3 of them. They're running 3, count them, 3 Butchers in this deck, so like, odds are they had it there, right?
Azir's command.
We will be... Actually, we might do it like that. I mean, I'm probably gonna play Katarina next round. So I may as well prevent more damage and give myself a nice little knife target. This is not an ideal hand though. This is far from an ideal hand here. Far from ideal. Our opponent probably is gonna just glimpse here. Oh well, we may as well. There's no reason not to do it. Even if our opponent does have glimpse, we still do this. Yeah, and they might not. You know, it's always the case that they might just not have glimpse. Black Spear. Oh, there's always Black Spear. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, we're just gonna Whispered Words here. My opponent has a lot of things that sacrifice, and not a lot of good sacrifice targets. So yeah, that pass there doesn't really surprise me very much. We're just gonna pass. We're just gonna pass again. If our opponent passes back, that's good for us. I am in dire need of units here. I am in dire need of some decent units. We'll do this.
Winter take you.
We'll go ahead and play this guy. Our opponent does not want to drop the Thresh. Our opponent has no desire to drop Thresh here, which makes sense. It will actually offer that trade. It will actually offer that trade. Yep, our opponent doesn't even take it. Makes sense. We pass. Our opponent still cannot drop either Nasus or Thresh. If they drop either of those things, I get a free kill. That is it. That is an entirely free. That is a completely free kill there onto that Thresh. He can do nothing. He can really do nothing to stop it. Which is pretty nice for me. I even could have gone LeBlanc there. To go for like a real counter. To go for like a real bait. That might have been okay. LeBlanc actually might have been correct there. That's fine. Yeah, LeBlanc actually would have been better because we have a Reckoning. We have a Reckoning in our hand. This is still 9 damage that I'd rather not take. Yeah, that was actually incorrect. Ouchies. I'm at 5.
But the Black Rose remember.
I am at 5 life. That's not ideal.
Surprised to see me.
My hand is just pretty monka. My hand is just pretty monka here, dude. Pretty monka. And this happens sometimes. This is the problem with the boys. And maybe even just the problem with Ashe decks in general is sometimes you get hands like this. We'll take that pass. We will take that end round. If our opponent wants to pass again, I will just make use of my troll chance and whatnot. Well, well, Rite of Negation certainly exists, doesn't it? I guess we have to use a nice Vil Archer here.
Knocked and ready.
Pull. We have to like... I guess we have to troll chant to survive here.
Come, this way.
I don't want to be at 1 life. I don't want to be at 1 life. There's nothing in this deck that can really kill you at 1. So we could consider Brittle Stealing. I'm not even going to do it. I'm actually just going to take 4. I don't even want to Brittle Steal that. We keep Brittle Steals for when we need them. We get a 1. We can pass here. If my opponent wants to play another Thresh, I will gladly Reckoning. Oh, Black Spear. Wow, I actually can't answer the Black Spear. That's pretty rude. Okay, we'll play Ashe.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Oh god, double Shunpo. We've got ourselves a double Shunpo, ladies and gentlemen. A double Shunpo. So we may as well use one now. We're just gonna begin the Shunpo. Let the Shunpo commence, as it were. Actually, if we gone double Brittle Steel there, we could have... Huh, that's interesting. I don't think that was the play. I know we could have gone, like, double Brittle Steel plus double Shunpo there to, like, guarantee the Ashe level. I don't think that's the play. I don't think that's the play.
As the arrow flies.
But they're saplings.
But they're saplings. If my opponent... Is that a glimpse? It's just a Vile Feast. Okay. I mean, we could just Shunpo again. We could just Shunpo again, but I'm pretty sure it's better to actually end that round. We can always Shunpo next round. We can always Shunpo next round.
Oh, fresh soil.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
These old eyes still see far and clear.
My aim is true.
Ashe still survives. That's, I think, my opponent's second Vile Feast of the game. 1, 2 Vile Feasts. Oh, 3 Vile Feasts. Oh, my opponent is all out of Vile Feasts. So the only thing that can hurt Ashe here is a Black Spear, which they're also running 3 of. My opponent's also running 3 of those. This is precarious. Don't get me wrong, we are in a precarious position here. This is not ideal.
Betrayal buried Shurima. Hope
Revived it. I mean, that's a reckon. I have to take that reckoning. Oh wait, don't I actually just Shunpo here? I'd love to go Crystal Arrow into Reckoning. I'd really like to do that. That would really make me happy here. We don't need to though. We'll just Shenpo. We're just gonna Shenpo. Black Spear sucks. Black Spear just sucks. There's really nothing I can do about it. It just sucks. Alright. If my opponent has Atrocity, I can't stop it. I can't stop the Atrocity. I can pretend I have a Flash Freeze. But if he calls my bluff, I just lose. If he calls my bluff, it's over. I have to go for strength. I have to go for strength and pretend I have Flash Freeze. If my opponent Atrocities, he just wins, but I have to pretend. I have to pretend I don't have it. Or that I do have it. I'm running 2. I'm running 2 and I have an Ashe. Right? Which means any other copies of Ashe are also a Flash Freeze. Yeah, he called me. He called my bluff. Yeah, we're literally running 2 Flash Freezes just to prevent that, but if you don't draw them, then I guess it doesn't matter. We literally, a Flash Freeze would have actually won us that game, just straight up. We would have just straight up won that game.